All right, here we go. We're gonna get it this time. Third time's a charm, as they say. Little technical problems on my side, and we're just gonna start over, and we should be ready to go. Well, first off, to everybody watching, Merry Christmas, and welcome to our fourth video, fourth interview on Christmas Day. And I am blessed to be able to, here we go. And yes, sir.
Bro, what's up, man?
Everything's great. Everything's great.
How's everything, man? Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you too, man. Merry Christmas to you too. I think I'm going to have to change my camera. I have to flip it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Do you see me right side up?
Nah, but whatever.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Do you have your
Oh yeah, I'll just turn it as my tripod.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Hold on. I think I figured it out. Hold on a sec. Hold on, y'all.
Man, you have access to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is better. I just did it, man. What's up?
Perfect. Everything's great, man. Everything's great. Merry Christmas to you, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, flip. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, again, fourth interview of Gold Nuggets. And today I have the chance to interview Mr. Marvin Golden. Marvin,
up,
did I have 2 minutes just to give a little intro about you, where you're from? Well, you know, Marvin and I go way back to
way back.
LaSalle Warrior days. Some of the greatest football I've played. I'm sure that for Marvin as well.
Life-changing for me, man, for sure.
Exactly, and it's created a great foundation for both of us, for the people we are today. And we are very thankful for the people that we met through that journey. Marvin went from LaSalle to Vanier College, where he had an awesome career. I followed him from afar. And from Vanier, SMU.
Of course.
SMU. And then Marvin and I actually got the chance to play against each other.
I know, and my team got blown out.
Yeah, no, we
Oh, man, it was so hard for me, though, because I had all these guys that I used to play with, and I know personally, and, like, you know, I think you guys were up by, like, 30 or 40 points by, like, the first quarter or something like that. I don't even know. It was bad.
It was a game. It was a game. But, but to be honest, I was just appreciative of the opportunity to play against you.
Oh, no doubt, man.
That was big. And actually, it was after that's my third year. After your third or second year as well, we got to go to East West together.
Yes.
East West, which is for those of you who don't know, it's the best of the East University against the best of the West. So 3 to 4 players are picked from every team, and we get to go head to head. And Marvin and I got to play on the same team, and we won. Was it 19-16, something like that?
Yeah, we won by a field goal, right?
Yeah, that was it. So we won by a field goal, and then from SMU, you played for Saskatchewan, the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was an honor to play there, for real, man. It was a crazy experience, man. It was a great experience, for sure.
Awesome. And listen, so this show, I just want to tell you everybody why I started this show. Because I want people to see the people I grew up with, to see why I am who I am today. And the people that come on the show are people that I admire, that motivate me and inspire me to be the best version that I can be.
No doubt.
So that's why you're here, because I want people to see what I got to be around growing up. So that's it, man. So take us through your journey, or how are you doing today, actually? How are things going today?
You know, obviously there's a pandemic going on, so I'm not allowed to, like, have people in the gym. But other than that, man, you know, I found an opportunity to still train my clients. You know, we do, like, virtual training, and it's going great, man. I really like it a lot, actually. I really, at first I really didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to accept it,
Yeah.
But, I accepted it, and, like, honestly, it's working really well for me, man.
Awesome. Awesome. That's actually something what you just said is that you learned to accept it, so you adapted.
Yeah, no doubt, you have to.
Yeah, that's something the game of football teaches us very
Oh,
fast.
no doubt,
We have to
man.
adapt.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, football is a real good foundation, to building character and also discipline. And, I feel like, without football, I don't know what kind of person I would be. I feel like I'm so, like, on point now. I'm so disciplined, and I'm so, like, goal oriented, and yeah, that's how I am these days.
Yeah, I feel the same way, bro. Football is a big part of our lives. um, if let's go back to the beginning. So our LaSalle days. Take us through from when you started till right before going to Vanier. What was it like for you? Your teammates, the coaches, the organization.
Oh man. So I started playing football at 15 years old, which is really late for a lot of football players. Usually they start like 9 years old or younger, I guess.
Hmm.
And you were actually my first teammate. I don't know if you know this, but my first year ever playing football, man, I was playing with you.
Yeah.
And when I wanted to play football, like like I started like playing like Madden or whatever, and I started like understanding football, and I was just like, yo, let me play football. And actually, before playing football, I was like a basketball player, and I used to play water polo. I was a swimmer,
You played
and
water
I
polo,
moved.
bro?
Yeah, yeah. And all my friends, like, Garrett and, Nate, all
Yeah.
those guys, they played football. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to play football. And my parents really didn't want me to play because obviously, like, it's dangerous and they don't want me to get hurt. But I really wanted to play, man, like, So my first position, obviously, I used to play offensive line because I used to
Hmm.
block for you, right? And Coach Norm really put me there. Rest in peace. Really good coach.
Yeah.
A really big influence in my life.
Hmm.
And my first year ever playing football, I won a championship. So, my first time experiencing football, I won a championship, and that's so lucky of me because, like, I got to went from like, just starting to going and winning a championship, right away. So I was just like, damn, this is what football is. You're playing with your boys. You're beating other teams. You're scoring touchdowns. Making plays. Everybody's celebrating. It's such a great and unique, how can I say, experience.
Yeah.
In regards to like other sports. I don't like obviously basketball is like team orientated and hockey or whatever, but football is so special for me like that. So my first year playing football, we won, and then after I'm like, yo, man, I really like this. I started training with Coach Andre during that off season. I got a little bigger, but overall, man, LaSalle was a great experience for me. I got to play, in front of the crazy fans in LaSalle.
Yeah.
They're the best fans when it comes to minor league football in Montreal. I don't care what anybody has to say.
Hmm.
Then the whole neighborhood is like watching you, your parents, and everybody watching the game. And yeah, man, so it was good. And then
So
afterwards, I went to Vanier.
awesome. So you started off O line, and what did you went? What was your second position after that?
Oh, my second position,
Hmm.
it was so funny because like I really wanted to play linebacker, but I felt like I didn't know how to play because the coaches didn't really teach me how to play.
Yeah.
So they really just saw me as like a defensive end because they saw my speed and my like quickness. And yeah, so I played defensive end, but I really wanted to play linebacker, but I
Hmm.
just didn't know how.
Okay. So D line. So were you? Let's say were you when we talk about size? Were you typical size for a D end?
Bro, come
Um,
on. Come on. Bro, I was, it's so funny, man. I was always the smallest, on the field when
mm,
when it came to like my position, on the front seven. I
mm,
would always stand out because I would be the smallest. But what I feel like gave me an edge over my competitors was, my willingness and, I was kind of crazy on the field, man. I really didn't care about my body. I went full speed, and, I just smash them out. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
what made me me.
And did the size of the guy in front of you matter that much?
No, it really didn't matter, man. Honestly, it really didn't matter. Quick and funny story. So I don't know if you were there or you went to Texas, but did you ever play against Bose?
I
No, I
didn't.
don't think you did.
I did
You did?
not. No.
Okay. So we played against Bose, and they had this big ass offensive lineman, and yo, that's the first time and probably the last time I've ever got bodied like that before. So basically, my second year playing football, I'm playing D line, and I got destroyed. So basically, what happened was they were like on their 1 yard line, and basically I have to defend the goal line, and the offensive lineman took me like this and bodied me on my back, and I'm just like this, traumatized, and he's looking right in my eyes, and I'm like, damn, bro, like I just got destroyed, I just got manhandled, you know what I mean? And like after that, like obviously I'm still talking about this 15 years later, you know, and it just made me like, you know, that will never happen again.
Yeah. I can't even imagine that, bro. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So LaSalle, we changed to D-line. We go against both, and then we make the move to Vanier. Vanier, talk about the transition from going from not just LaSalle, but going from the transition from the level of city ball to CJEP.
Oh, well, obviously, you know, the higher you go, the better the competition gets. So that at that point, the game got more complex for me, you know? Like when you play LaSalle in Little League, like the coaches will tell you a play, but you kind of freestyle that play, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, like everybody had a job, you know, you had to, you know, do your job, and like the game was faster. And I'm playing with guys who are like, I don't know, how can I say, like 3 years older than me. I wasn't really used to that. So my first year at Vanier, you know, I was on the bench, just like a lot of rookies. And, you know, it was all reps. I played behind Jesse Joseph. Yeah, man, that's my first year was like a humbling season for sure.
Okay. So that first year, because like you said, a lot of players who go into CJEP or making that transition end up waiting a year because the veterans are there and they have their spot. So what are some of the takeaways and some tips that you have for those kids who start CJEP and they really want to play, but need to understand that sometimes it's better just to learn their first year and stay where I am instead of just moving everywhere and trying to play to get some playing time, but stay where you are and learn. So what are some tips that you learned your first year, let's say from Jesse Joseph, or just from the experience of being on the bench? Your first year.
Okay, so my tip would be, you know, since you're like on the sidelines, the most important thing is to know why you're on the sidelines. You know, so obviously Jesse Joseph, he went to Connecticut, then he played in the CFL for many, many years. So like I had to see what Jesse's game was like. You know, he's the starter. I want to be there, so I need to kind of emulate his playing style in a way, and like seeing like, you know, the do's and don'ts as a starter, because obviously there's a saying, rookie mistakes, right? Yeah. And I was a rookie and I was doing a lot of mistakes in practice, so that's why the coach didn't trust me to go into the games. So during that time, I think everybody, you know, if you're on the sidelines, you should just pay attention and be more of a student of the game and look at the people who are ahead of you and, you know, try to emulate them, and that's going to automatically, you know, bring your game up. Because the thing is, like, if you were nice, you would play automatically. But I wasn't nice back then as a first year at Vanier, you know, and I had to learn from Jesse and even my peers too, like J.S. Blanc, you know. And, yeah, man, that's basically what it is, man. Just, you know, be students of the game if you're not playing.
Wow. So learn. This is a quote that I like to use: be prepared for an opportunity. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. So that 100%. First year, you were getting ready until it was your time to shine. So then take us to that transition into hitting the field and becoming one of Vanier's best players, man.
Man, honestly, it was great, man. Like my second year, Um, we went to the championship. Not championship. We went to the semifinals, and we had a really strong team, man. And I got on the field, started making plays. The thing about Vanier is, like, what I really like about it is everybody was really good, so it made your job easier. So like it was good, man. I don't know, it was fun. It was fun to be finally on the field.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Vanier is known as one of the, if I'm correct from my point of view, one of the powerhouses of CJEP.
For sure. They should win, though. They haven't won in a while, but they should win for sure.
Awesome. So went from LaSalle to Vanier, and now we're transitioning to SMU, what is the city it's in again?
It's in Halifax,
Nova
Scotia.
So
out east.
It's like what? Because I did the drive, right? Like
I think it's like a 12-hour, 13-hour drive.
There. What? Why did you choose to go to that university?
The reason why I wanted to go to that university was, first of all, I wanted to leave home. I wanted to be more independent.
Yep.
I personally felt like the schools, like at the time, like Concordia wasn't a good fit for me. I wasn't eligible. Well, I couldn't go to Laval or University of Montreal because my French wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? And the real reason is, St. Mary's, they covered a lot of my tuition. The only thing I had to pay for was, my living, my food. So they covered the books and school, and basically I was just going to school just like that.
That's awesome, and that's actually a big reason why I decided to myself come back home and play in Canada. For a lot of young guys watching this, whether you go to the States or you stay here, if you can get your tuition paid for, get it paid for, because that's a lot less debt that you come out of school. Actually, you can come out of school with no debt because football rewards you with a lot of things, one of those being having your tuition paid. So that's one thing to look for is where am I getting, where do I have to pay the less money, pretty much. We're going to be real.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you bring that up. And so you get to St. Mary's. Let's talk about a bit of school. The jump from CJEP to university and the school load, the time management. How was it a big change?
Was it a big change? I don't think it was a big change per se because it was football was something that I really loved, and it was just do it. I never felt like, damn, I have meetings. Damn, I have to lift. I was just like, okay, it's time to lift. Okay, it's time for practice. Like I wasn't like really fazed by the change. I feel like the change would be more for like kids who are coming from Ontario, who come from like little high schools that didn't really have much football going on. So like I went to Vanier and like I was ready to play, So like it was not really a big transition for me.
Awesome. So so that actually speaks in another way is when it's your passion, you just do it, man. You just
do it.
You just do it. That's awesome. And so now you're a university/college football player in Canada. What's the level of football like?
There?
Yeah.
Bad.
It was bad?
Of course. It was bad. Because I mean at first, my first year, we had the rule that you could have like 28-year-olds on the team and stuff like that. So yeah, my team, I had like 3 28-year-olds or like 4 or 5 28-year-olds.
I could have been there last year, bro. You could.
Huh?
I could have stayed in university for an extra 4 years.
Yeah, I know. But I think those guys, what happened was they played out west and like they're like electricians or whatever, and they're like, St. Mary's offered them, hey, yo, do you want to play football? And they're like, sure. And they're like 28 years old, So at first it was like, damn, these are grown-ass men. But then, like, it's just whatever. But the football isn't really strong in Nova Scotia just because of the coaches. The coaches ain't as strong as like, you know, Ontario coaches or Quebec coaches. Do you ever hear Team Nova Scotia win championships? Exactly. Nope, don't think, bro. I'm telling you the answer. They don't win.
No, not Team Nova Scotia. But I do remember there was a year when I was at Kent. I was doing a bit of studying, and SMU was actually one of the best teams because of their quarterback.
Yes, they were the best.
Yeah.
They used to be the best. They had a really good coach that recruited me. His name is Steve Samara. He's actually the head coach of Carleton right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I know. They fired him for no reason.
Wow.
And one of the worst decisions that I made was staying after he got fired. That was one of my worst decisions because I don't know if you're aware, but my last season, we went 0-8, Jamal. Have you ever went 0-8 in your life?
I have went 0-8 actually at Concordia, and I'll tell you what, it's not.
Oh my gosh, it's the most depressing thing ever. Bro, honestly, I really hated it, man. Like, it really, and the thing is, for me, that particular year, going 0-8 was really stressful for me because it was my draft year.
Yep.
It was my draft year. So going 0-8 on your draft year, you know, the scouts, they're looking at like the good teams or the players are making a lot of plays. But like, man, it was a rough year for me, man. Like going 0-8, because I'm a competitor. Like I told you, I started playing football and started winning. My first year playing football, I'm winning.
That's
and then every game, a loss. You tell me I can't get one win? Come on, man. I was so sad. I was depressed.
Oh man, I can relate to that. And during that 0-8 season, though, what I like to take the positive away from everything.
Bro, no positive. I don't even care. I don't even care.
The fact that every player was able to stay together, like we didn't break down or crumble during that 0-8 season. Because we talked about it, right? Yeah, nobody.
Oh, my team, we rumbled. Our team was so divided.
Oh, flip.
Yeah, our team was really divided, man. Like, I felt like the coaches did it on purpose. Didn't do it on purpose, but they kind of divided the team, you know?
Yeah.
And my last year, my head coach, like, he didn't recruit me. His name is Coach Perry. He really didn't like me, man, because I cared more about the team than he did.
Wow.
Yeah, like, for example, we play a team and we missed, like, hella tackles.
Yeah.
Right? And I said, yo, man, I was a captain since my second year. I was telling guys, yo, guys, come up early so we could practice tackling, like, angle drills or whatever. The coach was like, nah. I'm just like, what?
Wow.
Yeah, man. So stuff like that, you know, and I'm a real competitor. Like, I really didn't like losing. And, like, he didn't care about losing. You know, we didn't practice. You know how usually coaches, when you lose, you practice harder?
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
Wow. That's but it proves that being a leader isn't because of your position, right? So
yeah,
just by that fact that you were a leader and were willing to take care of your team.
Yeah, man. Honestly, yeah, I tried.
Wow. So from there, actually, let's rewind 1 year. Let's go a few months after your third year, when we got to go to East West. Talk about that, man. Talk about that.
East West?
Yeah.
East West was a great experience, man. You know, obviously it's like an all-star game, and you know you're playing with the best at your class. So basically, like, you know, the whole trip was amazing, man. Like, you took the train, right, from Montreal via rail?
Yeah, we took it. Yeah.
What's up, Theo? Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, so we took the train. It was a good experience, and you know, the practice, the scouts, you see the different kind of coaches that are out there.
That's
you know, and the thing is about East West, you know, you got to be really coachable and like understand, you know, what these new coaches are trying to tell you. You know, so that was good. The game was okay for me. I got hurt. But, yeah, you know, everything was good for me when I went to East West other than that.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. So we did East-West. You had your final year. You went 0-8, was your draft year, and you still become a professional football player. You still make it.
What's up, Tim? Yeah, yeah. But hey, are you forgetting that year, 2015, we played in Alberta.
Oh, flip! That's true. I didn't even.
We played in Alberta.
That's true. We played against each other. That's true.
Yeah, we played in Alberta.
Yeah.
And yeah, that season and that year was like how can I say? It was like sort of finding myself and still trying to play professional because obviously it's like a men's league, it's a senior league, it's in Alberta, you know, and RIP Dave Spence, you know, he called me up and said, hey, man, like, I see you're not playing this year. Do you want to come up and play? And I said, yeah, man, why not? Went up there, played a few games. Played a few games, you know. Yo, did you know my team beat a team 100-0?
Oh.
You didn't know that?
No, was it? Who was it?
We smacked the team 100-0.
Was it the Irish?
I don't even remember what team it was. But, bro, we smacked them 100-0.
Wow.
But, yeah, Fort Mac was good, man. I met a lot of great guys there. I got to see, like, some parts of Canada. You know, I don't know how it is in Red Deer, but the sun during the summer, it sets at, like, 1 a.m.
It was 1 a.m., bro. When I was there, it was, like, at 12.
Or something like that.
It was late, bro.
Something like that, you know, and then it'll be up at, like, 5 a.m. I was so rattled. I was like, yo, I didn't even sleep. Why is the sun up? But during that time, I was mostly working, man. I worked loss prevention. So basically, I was like on the cameras, looking for people stealing and stuff.
Holy, how was that?
How was that, man? I'm gonna tell you something. I sucked, man. I didn't catch one person.
But did
anybody? They had like a rule. They had like a rule like if the person was stealing like less than $20, then like let them go.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, yeah. But then I was like, yeah, right. So and it was funny because my other coworkers during that time, they would be like, I would see them reports. Oh, I found one person stealing $1,300 and this $1,400. But I can't find one person. I was just whatever, man. Let me just work and just go back to Montreal.
Wow. So let's go through that journey though, because so you have your fourth year, then the draft happens. Did you get drafted?
No, undrafted.
So undrafted, you go to Fort Mac. You're with an awesome team. I got to play against you guys. An awesome team. You're working as a loss prevention, let's call it officer.
I think so.
Officer. and then, like, what are your thoughts? So of course you're training. You still want to go pro. What are your thoughts between from that transition after your last year? And going pro, what are your what's your thought process? What's happening?
Oh, like during that window?
Yeah, because like you said, you're finding yourself, right? So are there any days where you're like, man, am I gonna make it? Or you're always like, okay, I just gotta keep going and keep going. What made you make it?
So basically, I already knew in my head I was going to make it. I always knew I was going to make it. It was just about time. You know, and I just had to wait. You know, it was just a waiting game. So basically, you know, all I did was train and be ready for that call. And I got that call from Coach Jones to go down to Florida for like this mini camp. Yep. So basically, it was a mini camp in Vero Beach, Florida, and it was like an open tryout per se, but they already invited it wasn't an open tryout. They invited their people that they wanted to see. And, you know, I went there and I did my thing, man. Like, Roseway was there. Melvin was there.
Wow.
Yeah, there was I think Joe Busseret was there. Nice. And, yeah, man, you know, I got to compete against a lot of, like, you know, people who are going to be on the SAS team. Like, one of my friends, it's really, really crazy story. His name is Sam Iguavin. He's from Texas. He's American. He played at Texas Tech. Then, like, you know, he didn't get picked up by NFL teams or whatever. And then he did, like, an NFL tryout. He did the tryout at Vero Beach with me. And now he plays for the Dolphins. So it's a crazy journey, You never know.
Wow. You never know.
You never know. Yeah, now he plays for the Dolphins.
Wow. That's awesome. Like the journey, right? So the biggest part. So talk to us about the experience of actually being a pro, whether it be from the locker room to running onto the field, having the fans. Go through like being a professional football player.
So being a professional football player, man, it was a great experience while it lasted. I would say what I really liked was, I guess, just like the high competition. You know, like I had guys on my team that played at Bama. I had guys on my team that played at Texas, Ohio State, all the big major one division schools that we looked up to, you know, and to finally to be on the same field as them, it was great. So I would say my situation was a little bit different because playing Saskatchewan, they have the best fans, and it's like the only pro team in that city. Yeah. So the city literally shuts down when we played. Dang. You know, yeah, they literally shut down. Everybody knows who you are. You know, they act like they don't know, but they know exactly who you are. Yeah. But other than that, man, playing for Sask, it was such a great opportunity, and it was amazing.
Wow. So let's go through this again. We went from LaSalle to Vanier.
I went from LaSalle O-line.
Sorry, we went from LaSalle O-line. And then we switched near is it second year you went to D-line?
Yeah.
And then we went to Vanier. Vanier, were you D-end or were you linebacker?
I was D-line.
Okay, D-line. Vanier, D-line, and then SMU in Halifax, where you were like both?
I played both. You want to hear something funny, man? So my last year, we getting smoked, right? Our defense, we're playing like 80-something plays a game. Bro, that is so tiring. Playing 80 plays a game as a defensive line, just taking on the run the whole foot, tired. So the linebacker that was playing with me, I gave him so many plays, but he's not making the plays. So the coaches didn't even say nothing, right? I just switched myself to linebacker. I legit switched myself to basically, I was supposed to be D-line Indy. I went to linebacker Indy by myself. Coaches didn't say anything. And yeah, man, that's how I started playing linebacker. And like, I was such a student of the game. I knew what to do. You know, my coaches were like, they were both American coaches. They showed me this perspective. You know, showed me like how football should be played, and like I just soaked it all in.
That's awesome. Be a sponge for information. Right?
Yeah,
that's very important. So then from SMU, we go to Saskatchewan, and in Saskatchewan, I feel like Canadian players need to know, like, what does it take for a Canadian player to make it, right? Because go ahead, explain it.
Okay, so I think what Canadians need to realize is, you know, you need to have like a competitive nature, right? Because the thing is, once you step in there, you're always competing every day, day in, day out. And it comes down to everything. So if we do a drill that I have to backpedal and brake, right, I have to do it to the best of my abilities. Because if it's sloppy, coaches, they're going to put a little tick beside your name. You feel me? And you got to like be perfect at your craft. You know, you can't only be fast and like strong, whatever. A lot of times that doesn't really translate. You got to really know what you're doing. You got to really know how to move properly.
So that comes down to football knowledge again.
Yeah, football knowledge and like, you know, breaking down like, you know, your game. Because a lot of people, when they train, they do the same thing. They'll do like sprints, you know, bench, squats, but they never pay attention to the real details, which are like agility, you know, learning how, you know, the formations of like, you know, offensive formations and offensive plays, offensive tendencies, you know. They don't really look at it like that. They're not really in the film room like that.
Can you talk to us about the importance of the importance of special teams?
Oh, very important. Special teams was really, really important. So for me, I was really bad at kickoff return. Kickoff return was my worst special teams. I dreaded it because the thing is, you have guys running full speed, or either I was really bad or the coaches had me set up to do some really crazy stuff. So listen, we're playing Calgary Stampeders, and I was on the left hash, all right?
Yep.
I was like 4 or 5 yards out from the left hash, and I had to go block. It was like a return right. I had to run and block the guy who was running full speed on the right hash and like scoop block him. And that guy was Will Longley. This guy is so freaking fast. Do you know who that is? Will Longley. He played at Sherbrooke, I believe.
Yeah, and he's actually really good size too. So
he's really good size. He's fast. He's strong. Anyways, just to give you an example, stuff like that. But I really like punt return. I really like kickoff, punt. But yeah, man, special teams is so important, man. Like you gotta be good on specials and do your job.
And you have to adapt. You have to adapt.
Yeah.
Wow. So through your journey, through your life, if there is one or two, what's like one of the obstacles that made you, one of the obstacles you've met, you came face to face with, that either you broke down, like you said, I'm not going to let it stop me, or that made you hesitate a bit?
Obstacles when it came to football. Honestly, I didn't feel like there was any obstacles. I just felt like my time was done.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My time was done, and also my willingness wasn't there anymore. So it's not like I was defeated or I was like looking for something. I just didn't have it in me anymore.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, for sure. Man.
And when you left the game and you felt like that, you felt at peace with your decision?
Of course.
Yeah.
I felt great. I had no regrets because everything that I did in my past actually molded me to be a better person. And also, like, I feel like my calling now as like a personal trainer and athletic specialist, like, it's just what I was here for. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was meant to fail to be here, you know? So that's why, like, I honestly, I don't even, like, I love football because I understand it and I was good at it. But do I miss it? No, not really. Like, I missed, like, the X's and O's and the strategy. Like, that was cool. And making plays, that's cool. But, like, do I miss it that, like, I would try to, like, go back or nah? Nah, I wouldn't. It's whatever. Like, football was just a game to me that gave me so many things, like discipline, you know, build my character. But, yeah, football, I don't really miss it. I love being a trainer.
Wow. And do you bring that same fire and intensity that you had in football to training people? Of
course. Yeah, honestly, I think that gives me a huge advantage as being a trainer because, you know, I started lifting at 15. I'm 30 years old, so 15 years of real, you know, experience in the weight room. So I understand, you know, what the body's able to do. And, yeah, for sure.
Wow. And I'm only speaking because I'm like this and it's come from experience. What do you think of excuses?
I hate excuses. The thing is, I really hate excuses because, you know, some people, they have like goals and then they say, but this. So that means everything they said before just got negated by the word but, you know, and I really don't like excuses at all. I don't feel bad for people who make excuses.
Yeah, and that's I think it's because we didn't give ourselves excuses for, like, let's say you said for 15 years, and it could have been from before that, but for the past 15 years you've been so strict, right? And you haven't given yourself an excuse. You're like, oh man, I worked out like for 6 days. I gotta get up tomorrow at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. and go do it again. he said, and even if you did have that thought, like it would go right out and you'd go do it. Right?
Yeah, just get up and just take steps. It's all about like, you know, taking small steps.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all about taking small steps and like, you know, gaining momentum. Because obviously I love football and I love working out. But obviously there are days that I wake up and like, damn, I got to wake up and work out. All right, what's the first step? Get out of bed. Second step, brush your teeth and get ready and go to the gym. That's it.
And then it's a snowball effect, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's something that just for the listeners, the viewers, that we do have to be careful, right? Because there's two sides of it, right? Life, there's always a negative side to life. So as we just explained, right, we need to get things started with little steps. Because the more we do that, the more we have progress. Because to us, that's when we feel the most fulfilled, when we have progress doing something. But where we need to be careful is make sure you take that first step. Because if you don't take that first step, the less you're going to do. So you're going to have progress going backwards.
Yeah. Right? And I'm the person, I don't like to stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to stay the same because I feel like if I stay the same, I'm kind of getting slower, bad. Like I'm kind of getting bad, like slower, you know?
Yeah. I totally understand, bro. I totally understand. There's one particular question I wanted to ask you is, let's go to training. Let's go in university. About how many hours did you dedicate to perfecting your craft? Now we're talking about working out, going to meetings, playing the football games, everything about football. How much? Because I don't think people really understand what goes into being a university football player. So how much time did you dedicate, let's say, in a week?
A week to being a football player or a student athlete?
Oh, let's say a student athlete because, right, the other sports have the same thing. But yeah, student athlete.
Oh, okay. Well, let's say 2-hour meetings. Mm-hmm. Let's say 2-hour meetings, then like 2-hour practice, and then let's say 2 hours working out. That's 6. And then you got to study. The times I did actually study because I'm not gonna front, I wasn't very studious. But like the whole day basically. You don't really have free time. You really don't have free time. That's why a lot of football players that do work during like the season, it's like they work like Sundays.
Yeah.
So you don't really have any time to yourself.
Yeah, and it's not a sacrifice because it's part of the game, but during university, like you just said, Marvin, most of everything we do is towards our dream of becoming like the best we can be as a football player, as a person. So we don't have that time to go get a full-time job or maybe take 6 classes or whatever the case may be. And there are some players, some individuals who did do that, and sometimes they had to miss practice because they had to provide for their family. So we're going real deep where I just want to thank all the players who had to do a lot more than just be a football player and
for sure.
During those times, because you guys are freaking awesome. You guys are beasts at life. Because
that's mental toughness.
Exactly. For you to dedicate your life to being a university football player and then to your family and the whole shebang.
That's hard.
So I think a lot of you will understand why football players have that no excuse mentality because it's just do it.
Yeah, you just got to do it.
Just do it. And as we come to a close, I have another question for you. So hard work is part of the game, right? But is there, let's say, 2 or 3 tips or 2 or 3 things that really either separated you from everybody else or that helped you succeed? What would be those 2 or 3 tips that if somebody adopted that into their lifestyle, that would help them progress?
One thing I would really say was is consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency is so key. No matter what, man, you gotta keep chopping wood and keep going at it, because if you slip up, man, like, you know, it might backslide and, you know, you might slow up. And for me, I feel like having tunnel vision really helped me a lot, because, you know, my whole life, you know, I'm goal orientated, you know, and I had so many people in my life that we were on the same like path. But if you were like, you know, if, you know, things change and like, you know, people drop off, you know, so be very like tunnel vision. If you really want something, it really doesn't matter, man. You just got to do it. If your friends are like really not supporting you, or they're doing like other stuff, it's okay, man. You can still be friends with them. It's just, you know, you got to do you.
Wow.
So yeah, so you do you, for sure.
That's amazing, man. That's awesome. And so for the future, now you're a personal trainer.
Yeah.
You're a personal trainer. Where can people? I mean, we can see your social media handle at the moment, but I just want you to say it out loud so we can know where to find you, either here or on Facebook. If you have a website, where can we find you for your services if somebody wants to train, have a personal trainer? Yeah.
So obviously I have like, you know, my Instagram, I have my, you know, Facebook page, but my next thing, man, I really need a website. Okay. So a website will be the next thing I'll have to do for sure. But if they want to reach me, man, I would say Instagram for sure.
Instagram.
And I'm training out of Ray's gym. You know Ray, right?
Yeah.
So Ray's gym, XC10. Oh, it's right in LaSalle, Place LaSalle. I don't even know the address by heart, but yeah, it's in LaSalle.
Cineplex.
Yeah, yo, the Cineplex just closed down. Did you see?
Yeah, I was sad.
Yeah, I know. But you know, it's like, so this location used to be the old arcades. I don't know if you knew this.
Yep, I used to play there, bro. Yeah. Yeah,
so the old arcades and then the movies is vacated, man. Nobody there no more, unfortunately.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's take 2 seconds. I'd like to give a shout out to Ray for starting XC10. And it's not just a gym. It's a place. Ray has changed it to more of a leadership gym. So really the audience, the clients that he's looking to target are youth, teenage years to young adults. So Ray is really changing the foundation of our next generations, really our future.
Yeah, he is.
So I just wanted to give a big shout out to Ray and thank him for that. And
for sure, man. He's a man.
Yeah, and thank you, Marvin. Again, like.
Yo, thanks for having me, man. Yo, when you asked me, I was like, oh, no brainer. Of course I'm gonna say yes. Of course I want to talk to you, bro. Chop it up. I haven't seen you in a while. Plus, bro, I went to your shop, Le Givre, right?
Yeah.
But you weren't even there. You were in LaSalle or something. So, but it was good, man. So y'all check out his spot, Saint Eustache, right?
Yeah, Le Givre in Saint Eustache. It's 142J, 25th Avenue, in Saint Eustache. So
it was far. It was far, but it was worth it.
Awesome. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. And so just to make sure, on Instagram we could find you as
MG_F50. Yeah.
And on Facebook.
Just write Marvin Golding or Gold Season Training.
Gold Season Training.
GOLDSZN Training.
Awesome. And so just direct message and
hit me up.
Beautiful, man. So listen, Marvin, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, bro. It was so fun.
Yes, sir. We'll talk soon.
Oh, no doubt, man. Be easy.
Yes, sir.
Ciao.